Hi, welcome to Take 5, where we daily consider devotional thoughts from Oswald Chambers' book, My Utmost for His Highest. Today is June 30th, and the title of today's devotional is Do It Now. Agree with your adversary quickly, Matthew chapter 5, verse 25. The focus verse is more readily understood in context, verses 23 through 26. If therefore you are presenting your offering at the altar, and there remember that your brother has something against you, leave your offering there before the altar and go your way. First, be reconciled to your brother, and then come and present your offering. Make friends quickly with your opponent at law while you are with him on the way, in order that your opponent may not deliver you to the judge, and the judge to the officer, and you will be thrown into prison. Truly I say to you, you shall not come out of there until you have paid up the last cent. Chambers urges us not to procrastinate in getting right with others. He says in this verse, Jesus Christ laid down a very important principle by saying, do what you know you must do now. Do it quickly. As is understood in context, before you seek to get right with God, make sure you are right with those around you. Chambers warns, if you don't, an inevitable process will begin to work till you have paid the last penny. In pain, in agony, and distress. Dr. C's description of God's justice goes beyond what is in the literal text, but the understanding would certainly be grasped by the believer that there will be distress within the believer in knowing that something is not right between them and someone else. This describes the tenderness or sensitivity that we have to His Spirit within us. Chambers says God's laws are unchangeable and there is no escape from them. The teachings of Jesus always penetrate right to the heart of our being. Chambers next describes our natural inclination is that of wanting to make sure that my adversary gives me all my rights. But Jesus says that it is a matter of inescapable and eternal importance to me that I pay my adversary what I owe him. From our Lord's standpoint, it doesn't matter whether I am cheated or not, but what does matter is that I don't cheat someone else. Am I insisting on having my own rights, or am I paying what I owe from Jesus Christ's standpoint? The point is not whether others are indebted to me, but that I am not indebted to others. In the model prayer, Christ taught us, forgive us of our debts as we have forgiven our debtors. If others owe us or have done ill will against us, we must be quick to forgive them. As Chambers says, do it quickly. Bring yourself to judgment now. In moral and spiritual matters, you must act immediately. If you don't, the inevitable, relentless process will begin to work. God is determined to have His child as pure, clean, and white as driven snow, and as long as there is disobedience in any point of His teaching, He will allow His Spirit to use whatever process it may take to bring us to obedience. Even now as I write, God has reminded me of a $400 debt I owe to a gentleman who loaned me a car payment many years ago. And it was some 20 years ago that I lied to my mother on her deathbed in my going to take care of my cousin following my mother's death. Today's lesson has sharp, stinging pain for me as I prepare it. I've not been an honest person in years past. O.C. makes an excellent observation with his thoughts that the fact that we insist on proving that we are right is almost always a clear indication that we have some point of disobedience. The person who is busy right now seeking to justify in their hearts the wrongs they have committed against others is clearly indicating, or rather is clearly indicting themselves. As O.C. says, no wonder the Spirit of God so strongly urges us to stay steadfastly in the light. Dr. Chambers encourages us to reconcile quickly to those around us with whom we have wronged, whether they accept it or not, whether or not they reciprocate. Agree with your adversary quickly. Don't let the sun go down on anger or bad feelings on your part, Ephesians chapter 4 says. As Chambers encourages, do it now. Be sure to read our study from Dr. Chambers' book. It enhances the time that we spend together. And please send prayer requests, questions, or comments. Now may God's grace and peace be ours as we seek to live our utmost for His highest. Thanks for being here today. God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye now.